Hey everybody, it is nostalgia time once again. So as you can see here, we have 4 virtual machines. That is because in this episode, we are going to be starting a mini-series of Packard Bell and eMachines installations, particularly the OEM installs of when they were shipped from the factory. So, over the next 5 episodes, leading up to our 50th episode, we are going to be taking a look through several different Packard Bell and eMachines OEM installs, all within the 2000s, more specifically between, I'd say, around 2002 to 2011, I would say. And we are going to begin here with 4 different models of Packard Bell laptop computers. This is because at the time, as you can tell by the EasyNote TJ75 there, that's one of them. Packard Bell, along with eMachines, were purchased by Acer. Both of them were purchased by Acer. But we're also going to be taking a look at the machines that were made even before they were bought out, when both of them were independent entities. So, as I've already mentioned, we're going to be taking a look at the TJ75 today, the EasyNote TJ75, along with the Packard Bell iMedia S1800, the Packard Bell .SZE6, and the EasyNote TM98. And I see the EasyNote is already ready to go. We're going to completely restore the system to the factory default. And we will begin the restore. So there we go, the EasyNote has begun, and now all of them follow suit. So we'll go through in English. We're going to completely restore the operating system on all of them. Okay. Doesn't have a hard drive detail, but there we go, found the hard drive. This one is not detecting a hard drive. Gonna have to start this one over from the beginning. But anyway, the other 3 are off and running. So let's see which one of these Packard Bells makes it to the desktop first. Now, because this is Acer, their own software install tool will take effect here. However, there will also be Packard Bell branding. Okay, it has been over 3 hours since I started this whole thing, and my god, these computers have been taking forever to do all of it. In fact, the storage on my host is already just about out. That there's only like 50 gigs left, considering that these virtual machines haven't been using too much space. But the EasyNote TM98 is finally just about done. The TJ75 is still at 82%, and now it finally wants disk 3. And even though this thing was still doing that Acer setup, I just went ahead and ended it early and launched into the iBox experience. So here is the installer for the Packard Bell SZE6. I suppose this is Windows 7 Starter Service Pack 1. And of course, we will continue in Russian, but we will change it to English, United States, and I'll name this PBSZE6 for Packard Bell. This is Service Pack 1 of Windows 7 Starter, and that's the agreement from Acer Packard Bell. We'll leave the time zone as it is, and this is a home network. And now the SCE6 is finally going to the desktop after almost 3 hours of setting up and everything like that. My goodness. I mean, doing 4 Windows 7 installs all at once from manufacturers like this, it's definitely quite a challenge. And right out of the gate, we can see a custom Packard Bell logon screen. I don't think we can change the keyboard shortcut while this is going. Well, not keyboard shortcut, but the keyboard layout, I should say. So, this is Packard Bell's logon screen background. But while that finishes up, we're going to check in on the other machines. The TM98 is actually just about done. It's just about at the end. And here we are at the desktop of this Packard Bell. Now, I'm going to get this Acer thing out of here, so I'm going to go into the Task Manager and end this process. And there we go. Now we have the entire Windows 7 experience. So, let's take a look around this copy of Windows 7 Starter and see what it's got in store. But first, we're going to change the keyboard layout to English, United States. And there we go. So let's take a look at what it comes with. So I see it already did put a few icons on the desktop for us. So we'll go into the All Programs menu and see what it comes with. It actually, interestingly enough, comes with Adobe Photoshop, Photoshop Elements 9 to be exact. And like we saw with many other Acers, it has an installer for Skype. So you don't have to install the... It doesn't install the program for you, it just puts an installer on your desktop. So then if you're ready to install Skype, then you can just run that installer and it'll install. Comes with Adobe Reader 9. It has Office 2010. I believe this is Acer's custom welcome center. And it does give us an option to change it. However, it's all in Russian. This is the activator for Office Starter 2010. This is Packard Bell's edition of Norton Internet Security, 2010, I'm guessing. Or 2011, because this is Service Pack 1 of Starter. Also comes with Live Essentials. I see Photo Gallery. There's Movie Maker. And I suppose it doesn't come with anything else. This is just the typical Windows 7 stuff. It comes with Bejeweled 2, Chuzzle, Diner-2, Fate, Jewel Quest, Heritage, Solitaire, JoJo's Fashion Show, It has Namco as Pac-Man. Interesting. Penguins, Plants vs. Zombies, of course, since that was the game of the year. Polar Bowler, Skip Bow, Slingo, Torch Wins Trade Wins Legends has Skip Bow. I've never heard of that. I've heard of the game, but I've never played it. I suppose this is the welcome page for Photoshop. So, and let's see, it also has Intel stuff since this is an Intel machine. It has Silverlight, there's Norton, there's the online backup. This is Packard Bell's usual stuff. Well, again, that's Acer's, however, it's been rebranded to Packard Bell. And there's a look at the rest. This is the startup folder, which is empty. Here's all the games. And that's really what this comes with. So, and apparently it wants to check for updates before going any further. And I will show you that this is Service Pack 1 of Windows 7 Starter. And there it is. Windows 7 Starter. Service Pack 1. And of course, because the key in this is a OEM key and this is a virtual machine, it will not activate. So we would have to provide our own key for 7 Starter in order to activate it. So apparently just clicking skip, I believe, launches, yeah, it tries to launch Acer's tool. This is what Acer uses for their games section. And let's see if I can run the game now. Or is it gonna take me to that thing where I have to go? Oh, I have to go into my games. So if I go into my games, then I'll be able to see them all. So we gotta click my games, and we'll see all the games that are installed on the system. And now this will extract. So really what it is, it's just installers. However, when you run it for the first time, it's going to extract the critical game files, the files for the game to run, and then it'll activate a trial version of the game where then after, I'm not sure if it's after 60 minutes or, it's probably a buy-in. It was probably a buy-in in that Ferrari we took a look at in the last episode. So it'll probably be, I think, like 2 or 3 plays are free, and then you have to pay for it. Because I believe because I actually do have an HP laptop from 2008 that came with Vista Service Pack 1. It had Wild Tanget on it, and it actually does come with, I believe. When I reset it like 2 or 3 times, it wasn't for the games specifically, it was actually for other reasons. But I would only be allowed to play free 2 or 3 times, and then I would then have to pay for the game in order to continue to use it. But I think essentially what that Skip-Bo game is what it is. It's just what you think it is. So now the critical files have been extracted, and soon it will let us play. However, the storage is a big concern. And then this here is, I believe, what we would have seen at the start, or what we would see later on, is Packard Bell's variant of Acer's registration card. Yep, this is what we would see soon after the out-of-box experience. Oh, now Photoshop finally wants to open. But yeah, really, this Photoshop is what it is. Yeah, we can't tell if there's a special screensaver on this one. Probably not, because this is 7 Starter. So that's the Packard Bell SC6. So it is the winner of this install race. So now we're going to turn this off, and we'll wait for the other Packard Bells to finish their installs. Alrighty, so at last, after nearly 4 hours, all four machines have finished their restore. Well, now three, because the .SZE6 is done, because we already took a look at it, and I had already wiped the virtual machine off the drive to save space. So that way I can allow these other three to continue installing. So now, as far as I know, so from looking at the Internet Archive documentation for the rest of these, two of these have Windows 7 Home Premium RTM. I believe one of them is in Turkish and the other is in English. And then there is a Windows 7 Home Basic install as well. However, that one is in Russian, like that other one, which was Windows 7 Starter Service Pack 1. Considering these are going to be older versions of Windows 7, that means the software installation will take place after the out-of-box experience. The easynote TM98 is now in the out-of-box experience at last. And this is Windows 7 Home Premium. I'll call this PB, not PC, PB Easy TM98. We will not set a password. And yes, this is 7 Home Premium with no service packs. That's the agreement from Acer Packard Bell, or Packard Bell Acer, I'll say. And I'll change it to Central Time. It is 8:06 now as of the time of recording. And now the iMedia 1800 is now in the out-of-box experience, and this one actually comes out of Portugal. So this actually comes in Portuguese, so I'll name this PBI Media S1800. So this is a Portuguese copy of Windows 7 RTM. Again, same as before. And now I gotta guess which one is. I'll do Saskatchewan and leave it in 24-hour time as it is, but if we were to interpret it in 24-hour time, it would be 2207. So now the TM98 is approaching the desktop, and I'm going to switch this to English before I forget. This is about SharePoint in Windows 7. Whatever you'd like to share with other Windows 7 computers on your network. So now we have the easynote and iMedia coming in second and third respectively. The TJ75 is still setting up devices, although it is just about done with that process. So the easynote TM98 is in second now, because now we have the English version of their registration card. And we'll just go ahead and skip McAfee, just let it activate. So right away we have a different Packard Bell background. Well, we didn't have a background on that other one because this is Windows, because that was Windows 7 Starter. This is Home Premium, which again has more customization options, including Arrow. However, we will not get Arrow because this does not have any display drivers. And the iMedia is now going to its desktop, and the TJ75 finally reaches the out-of-box experience. Like before, I'll change the keyboard layout to English, and I'll name this PBEasyTJ75. We will not put a password in. This is I believe this is Home Basic with no service packs. And I'll leave the time zone as it is. So I can see the difference in the amount of software that has to be installed between these two. So, taking a look at these two installs, let's first start with the TM98. Let's start with that. So it has Adobe Reader 9, and apparently it has a shortcut to I believe that's remote assistance in Windows 7. I suppose that's its remote assistance feature. And you can see it's installing some drivers as well, literally right in front of us. And once it lets us into the start menu again, we can see the games that it comes with. I don't think we got to see the accessories, but we'll look at that next. It has Agatha Christie, Bejeweled 2, Build a Lot, Chess Titans, Chuggle, and apparently it has Club Penguin. So Club Penguin was actually an online game by Disney that actually was in service since, I believe, the early 2000s, and it shut down in 2017 or 18 or something like that. But then some group of developers actually came together and rewrote the entire thing. They did actually, and then Disney themselves eventually ended up making Club Penguin Island as a mobile game. However, I believe that didn't last long either. But anyway, but I'm not sure if this is actually to their website or something else. But whatever it is, it doesn't work. Anyway, Diner Dash 2, Farm Frenzy Fate, Final Drive Nitro, which I think is a driving game. And then the Insequarium Deluxe, Jewel Quest Solitaire, John Deere. I'll have to see what that is. Penguins, Plants vs. Zombies, Polar Bowler and Golfer, and then Virtual Villagers 4, Zuma's Deluxe, and Revenge. I actually want to see what the Club Penguin game is. Video web camera isn't found. Well, that's because we're using a desktop computer and I have... Yeah, so just as I expected, it does open the Club Penguin website in Internet Explorer. However, it doesn't work. The site won't get us anywhere. It looks like there's probably going to be some toolbars or something. But then I want to see what that other one is. I'll skip this registration card and get this to the desktop. So we'll take a look at the differences between all three machines. Yeah, so it does redirect to clubpenguin.com, but the site, I believe, has been shut down after the game itself was. Thank you for installing the Google toolbar. Well, you can thank the manufacturer for that. So here, I'll just close this out. And let's look at what else. I want to see what that John Deere thing is. And then in the accessory folder, just the typical stuff you see in Windows 7. And then I believe the rest is just usual stuff. And then there's Nero 9, which I'm not sure what this is. So here's the Packard Bell games menu. We'll go ahead and we'll check this out. And yep, this is the same experience from the HP. This is the look I was talking about. So in the startup folder, we find nothing, I believe. Okay, while we wait for that to go, let's go over here to the iMedia and see what's on the desktop, but we'll look at that in a little bit. There's the social networks, there's the Skype installer, there's the same Packard Bell stuff branded from Acer, and overall that's really about it. But I believe it's also supposed to come with a few other programs too, including Office, Security Essentials, and I believe Live Essentials as well, which will install the entire program in every single component. Looks like I have to register in order to use it, but you know what, that's alright. I'll just accept the terms and let it set up. So Nero Express is really just a DVD creator. So I'll move this over so we can see the desktop. So Packard Bell also has its own backup utility. You can create backups of your files, so should you have to reset Windows or anything of that nature, then once the restore is complete, you can just plug in your backup and all your files will be restored back to where they were. So That's good to know. So really that's that install. Let's look at this one now over here. The EasyNote TJ75. So this looks about similar to that other one. It has Adobe Reader 9, and that's the... Oh, that game must be ready. But anyway, yeah, let's see. There's that same backup program, however, it's an older version. We'll take a look at it. And this, I believe, is help and support. Yet that's the same as before. This is help and support, which doesn't work here. However, it does on here. This is Packard Bell's Info Center, which has the user's guide and some other useful stuff. And then again, we have that registration card that we saw earlier. Let's look at this one here. And I see that, again, Adobe Reader 9 is what it comes with. And then there is that printer thing. These are the typical stuff in Windows 7 Home Basic. Well, these are all the usual stuff in Windows 7. So the custom games that come with this one, we have Alice Greenfingers, Amazonia, Chess Type, well that's Windows 7, Chicken Invaders 2, Dairy Dash, Dream Day First Home, Farm Frenzy 2, First Class Flurry, Granny in Paradise, Heroes of Helios, whatever that is. And there's the Merriam-Webster Spell Jam that we looked at the Ferrari in the last episode. And there's Purple Place, which I believe has Russian subtitles in it, and all of that. That's a start folder, which is empty. This is Packard Bell's Game Zone folder. There's the recovery stuff. It's got Norton, and we know what Nero is. And it also comes with a 60-day trial of Office 2007, because again, Office 2010 was not out at this time. So there's Word 2007, PowerPoint, OneNote, and Excel. And this is an Intel machine, so it has the Matrix storage controller in it. But here, I'll go ahead and pull up the system properties on both copies of Windows, and I will show you that this is 7 Home Basic and Home Premium, respectively. They're both RTM, no service packs. And again, because these are OEM keys, it will not activate. Yep, 3 days until automatic activation. And this will say the same thing. So that's really what the EasyNote TJ75 is. Now let's see the S1800. Let's take a look at that. It actually comes with Adobe Photoshop Elements 8. That other one with Starter came with Adobe Photoshop 9. It also has Adobe Reader 9. It's got PowerPoint Viewer 2007. I'm assuming it comes with Office 2007. And if we look, yes, that is Office 2007. It's got all the live essentials. Movie Maker, Messenger, Photo Gallery. Photo Gallery is actually somewhere up here. And it doesn't include it. Interesting. Anyway, I just saw Works 9 get installed. There's the Skype installer. This is all of Packard Bell's stuff. There's their hotkey utility. Let's take a look at it. However, I don't think it's going to work because this is a virtual machine. It's got Norton Internet Security on it. We know what Nero is. It's got Microsoft Works 9. And then the rest of the stuff, I believe, are just the usual things in Windows 7. So the games it comes with, it's got Zuma, it's got Yahtzee, it's got Virtual Villagers and Families, it's got Polar Pool, Golf and Bowler, Penguins, Mahjong Artifacts, Jewel Quest, and Jewel Quest Solitaire 3, Aquarium Deluxe, and Fate, The Trader Soul, Fairy Solitaire, Escape Rosecliff Island, and there's that Club Penguin thing again, which we know no longer works. Chicken Invaders 3, Chess Build a Lot 2. It's got Bob the Builder Can Do Zoo. I'll have to see what that is. Blaster Ball 3 and Jewel 2 Deluxe, and then everything else is a startup folder and the usual accessories. So I suppose this is for like machine. But let's see if it has anything else in it. So it looks like this is in English. And it looks like Packard Bell does have its own screensaver on both of these, on all three of these machines. So let's go ahead and preview them all. So it looks like all three are the same. However, it looks like the only difference between the TM98 and TJ75 is the placement of the Packard Bell logo when the pictures change, and the Easy Note TJ75 actually has a very easy fade effect. Has like a fade effect. The iMedia has the same thing as well, and then this one just cycles through. So that's pretty cool, the screensavers. And yeah, here we go. Adobe Photoshop Elements finally loads. And well, it's just the same as it is. And so yeah, that's really it. That is a look at 4 different Packard Bell OEMs. The TM98, the DOT SZE6, the iMedia S1800, and EasyNote TJ75. This is only the beginning of what's yet to come, because in our next episode, we are really going to get things rolling, because we're going to bring on the eMachines. We're going to have a lot of fun with that. But until next time, thanks for watching. And great, I have to go to the Control-Delete menu to hit shutdown. Anyway, we'll see you in the next episode.